Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. Today, I have a very special guest with me today. It's such an honor to have her here on the show. Please welcome Melissa, aka Finesse Your Claws. Hello, Melissa. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having
Oh,
me.
yeah, absolutely. You're most welcome. So, I want to go ahead and get started by asking where you're originally from and tell us a little about your upbringing.
Okay, so I'm from London originally, born and raised. I moved to New York about 9 years ago.
Mm,
I'm of Caribbean descent, and I've always been pretty creative, artistic. My mum's really, really creative, so I guess it's just in my genes.
mhm,
I did nails editorial style back home in
mhm,
London on the side, alongside my job, my corporate job. And then when
mhm.
I moved here, I decided to pursue it full time.
That's cool. Is your mom like a painter or?
She used to paint, but she's just an all-round creative. Like she makes cakes that look like castles. She was always painting. She studied fashion, so she's just very, very creative.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Now, in regards to like school, what was like your school experience like? Did you go to beauty school? What was your whole school experience like?
So I went to a regular school, and then I decided to go to nail school probably about 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as I was always artistic, the nail art was easy for me, but I really wanted to learn about nails and nail health. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided to go to nail school in the UK in London,
Mm-hmm.
part time. And then I would like practice on my friends. But
Mm-hmm.
it all kind of started because I used to do my own nails. I used to do a lot of nail art on my own nails, and I just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
get the kind of the health side down before
Right.
like really pursuing it as a career.
Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of like license, are you licensed here in the US or is it just in the UK?
No, both. So I'm
Oh,
licensed
both.
back home and I'm licensed here. So when I moved here 9 years ago, that's the first thing I pursued was a New York license because I
Mm-hmm.
knew I wanted to eventually do it full time.
Mm-hmm.
I went to nail school here also, just to get the license though, because I already had like the skills down at this point.
Oh, okay. Because I wasn't sure if you had the license like transfer from the UK to here or
That would have been a blessing, but unfortunately that wasn't possible. I had to
oh,
get a New York license to pursue it here.
oh, okay, okay. I definitely want to get into having your own nail business. So
Okay.
before owning your own nail studio,
Mhm.
first you start working at a Japanese nail salon. So what was that experience like and what did you learn working at the Japanese nail salon?
So honestly, when I moved here, I wanted to be a nail artist, but I didn't really have a plan. If I'm honest with you, I didn't really know anyone here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I was just looking for jobs, and I was like, like I do enjoy nail art. I'm not sure it was where it was going to take me at the time, so I
Right.
applied for a receptionist at the
Okay.
Japanese art salon, and then I quickly worked my way up to manager. But what I
Mm-hmm.
did take away was all the nail art was so advanced. Like I could
Right.
draw and I had done nail art, but I wasn't aware of certain products. I wasn't aware of all the textures. I wasn't aware of how intricate nail art could be. And
Right.
that's what I was learning from the nail artists there. They were really, really open in teaching me techniques, teaching me what brushes to buy, teaching me what gels to use. So I just started practicing like after hours.
Mm-hmm.
As I was the manager, I had the keys to the salon. So I'd bring people in and do their nails. I'd practice on
Right.
myself. I'd stay for hours practicing on model hands and just
Mm-hmm.
drawing and drawing and drawing. And I started getting really good at it pretty quickly. So it still took me a few years from then to like
Mm-hmm.
do it. I was a little nervous, um,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely started from there. Like that reignited my like creativity and my want to do it full time.
Absolutely. Now, what has been your whole experience like having your own nail studio?
So honestly, that's been my ultimate blessing since I've been here. Um, I don't know. I would describe myself as an introvert. I think my friends and my clients would describe me as an extrovert. I think I'm a bit of both. So when I know someone, I'm super loud, but then like in a room, I'm probably the quietest person. So it takes me a while
Mhm.
to warm up, but I think the one-to-one works for me because I can bring out my real personality because I'm quite a chatty person. I feel like
Mhm.
the salon situation is just not for me. Like I just
Mhm.
don't. I feel like I just work better alone. I'm more creative that way. And
Right.
I personally enjoy one-to-one experiences. Like all my beauty treatments are just like a one-to-one situation. I'll pay
Yeah.
whatever as long as I'm
Right.
in and out. So I feel like when I started my business, I wanted it to be very like bespoke, like a niche, high end studio where you
Right.
come in, you get exactly what you want, however you want it, for however length of time, and then you leave.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to see anybody else. You don't need to wait, and it's just an in and out situation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
because it is one to one and a small studio, just me, it's allowed me to build like a strong rapport with my clients. And I'm very blessed because since I started doing nails full time, probably about 5 years ago now,
Right.
all my clients have stayed unless they've moved out of state or whatever. Like I've got the same clients from day one. I
Mm-hmm.
very rarely add new people because the same people are always coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm like an introvert, you know. I mean, I'm kind of sometimes like a blend, like an introvert extrovert,
Yeah,
you
same,
know, because you
same.
know I'm shy at first, but once you get to know me and I get familiar with you a bit, and I'm like, okay, then I can be more expressive. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, I feel like I am a little shy at first, but I feel like sometimes
Yeah.
it comes across as like standoffish. But I'm a Pisces, you know. So for me,
Mhm.
like I gotta suss out the situation. I need to see which way the current is flowing, and then I'll like come
Right.
out if need be. But I'm not a
Right.
person that just jumps out there into the loudest in the room. Like that's not me. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely enjoy the one-to-one experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I'm kind of the same way. I definitely want to get into this in regards to like being in the UK versus in the US.
Okay.
Like, what are some differences you notice in regards to nail industry?
Okay, there's a lot. So I feel like for sure here, I didn't go to the greatest nail school. I'm not going to shout them out because I don't need to bash them. But I just went to a nail school to get the license because I had already obviously studied in the UK. But
Right.
even with that, I feel like it's a little more advanced in terms of what they teach you in nail school here. I feel
Hmm.
like you can really get away with doing nails in the UK with just a regular like esthetician license, like a beauty
Right.
license. And then you kind of go off and learn whatever yourself.
Right.
Here they were a little bit more intricate about teaching us about, you know, like nail health and how to use the files properly and all the rest of it. But I mean,
Right.
ultimately with nails, you have to just learn it yourself. Like it's really hands-on experience to get good at it and to learn what techniques work for you.
Hmm.
So I feel like here maybe nail school is a little bit more advanced, but in terms of nail art, I just think the UK in general, like they're jumping onto nail art now, but it's nowhere near as intricate as the stuff that I do out here. And honestly,
Hmm.
if I move back home tomorrow, I don't think the art that I do would even translate over there. Because every time
Hmm.
I go home, people are like bewildered by my nails. Like they're stopping me, like they're like, what the hell? And I know my nails are over the top. I'm here for it. I love over the top stuff. But I
Right.
think the scope of nail art there is still behind, you know, like
Right.
they're
Hmm.
not doing like all the textures, they're not doing all the
Right.
stones, they're not doing all the build outs. People are still
Yeah.
doing regular lengths. And I'm not really sure why that is, because being from London, like it's very eclectic, it's very cosmopolitan, but people
Mhm.
are kind of scared to come out of their comfort zone for sure.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought my style is definitely more suited to New York for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Especially you're in the fashion mecca. You
Yeah,
know, that's
sure,
New
yeah.
York.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
like all my clients are like creatives, eclectic people. Even the ones that go to corporate jobs, like there's a little bit of flair, a little bit of edge to them. Like
Hmm.
I think the common denominator amongst all of them is none of them like the same thing. Like they
Right.
all like something unique to them. And that's how I am. I always feel like
Hmm.
you attract clients that are similar to yourself. And
Right.
I feel like all my clients in some way are similar to me. Like they're
Hmm.
very much like a bespoke, unique experience. They like
Hmm.
high-end stuff. They like the in and out. Like they just like it catered towards them. And I'm the same
Right.
way. Same
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. So your clients, for the most part, give you that creative freedom, essentially.
They definitely do. As I said, because they've been with me for quite a long time, I feel like everything they've wanted to try, they've done. Like it's
Right.
we're 5 years down the line. So now
Right.
it's up to me to like, okay, what can we do that's new? What can we do that's fresh? What can we do that's not seen all over Instagram? Let's start
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
trend with your nails, you know? And they're down for it. Like, I don't know,
Hmm.
like even yesterday, it was quite funny. Like one of my regular clients, she came in and she just
Hmm.
showed me a picture of a flower, just a flower, real flower. And she was
Hmm.
like, it doesn't have to be like a literal flower. I just like the colors and the texture.
Right.
And then it turns into this big 3D creation. Like I was building out flowers, I was doing all these vines or whatever. And she's like, it didn't need to be that intricate. And she was pregnant. So she wasn't even ready to sit for that long. But it's just an example of them coming in and just saying, this is the picture. And then they just let me go crazy, even if they don't want to sit there, even if just do what you do.
Right.
That's how I work. And honestly, like, it's such a joy for me to come into work because they allow me to be free.
Exactly.
With my creativity. And that means a lot to me, to be honest.
Yeah, and I like the point that you made in regards to having creative freedom, because I think, there go again, like how you said, it's cool to have creative freedom because you can do whatever you want and you could push, the boundaries of nail artistry and how far you could take it. And that's the thing when I learned in NTNA, Nails Like Stop Nail Artists, is, to let your imagination go and let it flourish and things like that. So, and especially, this is something that nail school or beauty school isn't going to teach you. No. You know what I mean? It's up to you to have that,
well, you. So honestly speaking, like nail school doesn't teach you nail art at all. It teaches you the basics of nails, like to be a nail technician.
Right.
Being a nail artist, and I always say this because I feel like the best nail artists that I see and I know were artists first. Like they can draw on canvas, they can paint. They can do different art mediums and then they're just presenting it in nail form. They're just scaling it down the size and they're drawing on a small canvas. And I think that when you have that, then you can take it to any medium you want. You can take it to nails, you can take it to the gallery, you can take it into jewelry, you can take it into fashion. But the artistic creativity is there naturally. Right. And I feel like that's why they don't teach you that in nail school. Because you can teach somebody technique, but you can't teach them how to draw. You know?
Exactly.
So I feel like for me, always being pretty creative and artistic, that's why I went to nail school, because I knew I would be okay with the art. I just wanted to make sure I was doing it correctly, like I was doing the foundation right. So people weren't getting funguses, so I wasn't cutting people, so they weren't coming back every 2 weeks with breaks. But the art is not taught at all. It's all, everybody that does nail art, that's their own free will, that's their own creativity, that's their own vision.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've always been a creative person myself. Like I've always been into art, nothing else. And the thing is that once I did art school in an art class in 2nd grade, I was like, this is it. So I've always had an interest in art ever since that time. But I really took it seriously my 10th grade year of high school. Okay. And the thing is that I'm a licensed cosmetologist as well. So I took cosmetology courses in my high school and I got my license. So, the thing is, and that's what I loved about, going to art school as well, because I also went to SCAD to really expand my knowledge of art, because I majored in illustration. Yeah. So, I just love, like how you said, the creative freedom and having that imagination, because like how you said, no one else can teach you that.
No. It just comes, like people always ask me, like, what are you inspired by? And do you sketch out the designs before? And how do you keep coming up with stuff? Like literally, nobody sends me anything before. And even if they do, I don't particularly have the time to start. That's just not how my brain is wired. Like I'm very much a freestyle artist. They'll come in with something, and as I'm drawing, it just turns into a whole cohesive creative process. Like I don't sketch out nails. I don't decide I'm doing this here, I'm doing that there. I'll do one nail, feed off of that. Okay, I want some color here, I want some texture here, and then I make it balanced. So a lot of my art does, like I can do 10 completely unique different nails from one picture. Like I'll just pick out different elements in one picture. Yesterday it was one flower. All 10 nails are different. So I don't really, I mean, people work differently. I know a lot of artists, some people, they like to get the inspo early, they'll come up with design. I just don't work that way. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it, but literally mine is always off the cuff. And I like it that way. I like being like, what, I don't really know what I'm going to do today, but I'm just going to let it flow. And it works for me. So I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, in terms of just in regards to having your own press-on nails and as well as your own nail products, I definitely get into that. So tell us about your line of products and what was the decision behind having your own press-on nails?
So I get a lot of people reach out to me that are out of state. I don't really travel to do nails. I think I've done that one time. And I thought it would be interesting to create press-ons that you don't usually see. So
Right.
most of my press-ons are long square shaped, which you never see in press-ons. You always see like almonds, coffins, medium
Right.
length, short lengths, but
Yeah.
mine are like long square nails.
Right. Yeah.
I like long tips in general, and I was like, why don't they do press-ons that are like trendy? Why don't they
Right.
do press-ons that you want to see the fashion girlies wearing? Because they
Right.
don't always have the money to do these super blinged out or colorful sets. But that doesn't mean they're not fashionable. That doesn't mean they need to go into Walgreens or Dwayne Reed to get two swirls in the nail. Like, because me personally, I'm thinking even if I didn't wear nails, I would still want to get something that's trendy. And I feel like there's a big niche in the market for that. Like, so
Right.
I decided to take some of my most infamous designs on Instagram and turn them into press-ons and see how well they did. And they did really, really well. I bought
Ooh.
out, there's 8 different styles at the moment. There's a more high-end tiered, like super intricate art. And then there's like, I guess, a more simple one. And I did that just to see which one would do better. And the intricate ones do way better than the simple ones. So obviously there was definitely like a niche for it that I filled. So I was happy to do that. And allow other states to try my styles too, because I'm not everywhere.
Right. Yeah, right. Absolutely. I definitely want to push forward and talk about some of the celebrities that you've done in regards to also how to, gain a celebrity clientele. So you've done Brendan Blackwood's nails, you've done SZA, you've done fashion shows such as MCM in terms of nail art. So I definitely want to ask, like, how does one get involved in regards to fashion, especially gaining a fashion clientele, but also a celebrity clientele?
So this is going to sound so blasé. I didn't actually reach out to any of these people.
Okay.
All these clients that I have, like, it's literally just me posting regularly on Instagram and just making very unique art.
Right.
So Brandon Blackwood is still my client. He's a close friend at this point. He's been coming to me for a few years now. And he found me, it's quite funny. He found me by doing like a call on Instagram and like, I want to get my nails done. I want to do nail art. Who do you think I should go to? And people were recommending me. Like, people were in these comments saying you need to go to Finesse Your Claws. And that is how he came to me, which is quite ironic. And he stayed. And then same thing during the pandemic. Just coming out of the pandemic, she DM'd me and she was like, I love the nails that you do. I'd love to come and see you. And because it was a quiet time, I had just opened my studio and it wasn't really functioning yet. I mean, I had all the things, but I still wasn't allowing clients to come in. She came in and she did her nails at the studio. I've since done her nails a few times, not at the studio, but that was another person that just came to me. So most of the opportunities I've had, I've really not gone out and sought them out. I think for me, the main objective always when I started my business was to stay creative, stay unique, and to provide a high-end service. And I think that followed through with my Instagram. It's not the best Instagram ever, but I think the stuff that I do post is pretty polished and it's pretty unique. And that attracts a different kind of clientele when you don't want to have the trending nails on Instagram. So my tips are stay true to yourself and do what you do, because the right people will seek you out. I think we get so caught up on social media with like, I need to seek out a celebrity client to be popping. But if you're popping, your work is popping, that client will seek you out because they're going to want what you have to offer. There's nothing you can do to get people to come to you. Like, there's no secret formula. If you do your work well and you're committed to it and you're passionate about it, people will see that and they're gonna hit you up. Because people do ask me that all the time. Like, how do you get in contact with this person? Do you think these people don't have millions of people contacting them all the time? Like, they're not even going through their DMs. They've got a whole team of people. Maybe they're at home late at night and they're just scrolling through and they're like, damn, this work is dope, and get somebody to reach out to you. And a lot of my clients, that has been the case, to be honest.
Yeah. That's absolutely amazing. Doing nails for MCM and Brandon Blackwood, and he's one of the people that I would love to interview. Brandon Blackwood.
Brandon Blackwood is honestly the dopest person ever. Like, I love him, and I'm not just saying that because he's my client. Like, we have such a good rapport. We get on so well. He turns my love around for Libra men. I adore him. Like, I really do love him. Like, he's so funny. He's so smart. And I'm just so inspired by him. Every time he comes in, he's got something else that's brewing or coming out. And we have a good time. So I'm very blessed to have him as client.
I definitely want to go ahead and push forward and talk about something that's very, very interesting. You said in an interview with Soul House, you did an interview with Soul House, and it talked about the culture of Black women wearing nail art. And you said, quoting, "We don't just paint our nails. It goes beyond who we are as individuals. It's our story, our ancestry. That doesn't change no matter our income or position in life." Now, could you expand more on Black women's impact in the nail industry?
Well, as a Black woman in the nail industry, I feel like, you know, when I remember like my aunts and my cousins and all these older women before me getting their nails done, they were always like the long, square, red, blinged out nails, the Flojo kind of nails, the stuff hanging off of them with the rhinestone flowers. I mean, that takes another step when you're Caribbean. Like, I'm half Jamaican and half Dominican. So I'm used to the bright colors. I'm used to the neons. I'm used to the texture. And I feel like that was seen as such a taboo thing when I was younger. Like, it wasn't seen as professional. It was seen almost as ghetto. It was seen, now we call it ratchet. Like, it was all these things, but it wasn't just seen as art. It wasn't seen as culture, you know? And I feel like these same nails have done a 360. Everybody wears these nails now, especially in New York. Like, it doesn't matter what race you are, what age you are. People have these in the office. They have them in a corporate environment. They have them on the runway. Like, these nails are out there, but these are nails that we've always worn. And I feel like it's done a 360. It's now seen as just art. And I think maybe that's because now other races are wearing them or have popularized them. But I feel like for Black women, it's like a part of our culture. It's like me wearing the nameplate necklaces, the gold hoops, the rings. Like, that's just what we do. That's what we've always done. The baby hairs, the swoops. The nail art was a part of that, you know? So I feel like it's nice to see it. It's nice to see it popularized. It's nice to see it on everyone. It's nice to see that it's no longer a taboo thing. But at the same time, I feel like it needs to be recognized that it's something Black women have always done. You know, that I don't want to go as far as to say it's cultural appropriation, because I feel like it's not significant just to Black women, but I feel like we have been doing that from day one. Women of color have been doing that from day one, you know? So it's definitely part of our culture, it's part of our heritage. And I feel like we should definitely get a gold star for it, because now everyone has it. Everyone has it. And we've always done that. Like, my nails right now, there's these long blinged out gold, whatever. Everywhere I go, people are like, how do you do anything? Like, what was behind it? There's something behind it. It's just who I am. Do you know what I mean? Black women stand out. We're over the top. We love it. That's what it is.
Yeah, I could totally agree with that. Now, do you think that, you know, nail artists and nail techs get enough credit in the nail industry?
No. So I feel like I don't think we do. And I don't know why that is, because I feel like when it comes to nails, especially like these long, over the top, trending Instagram sets, I feel like people are always questioning the price. Like, you go in Shade Room and they'll post a nail photo and they're like, damn, I wouldn't pay that. Or damn, she got ripped off. Or damn. And I'm like, you pay $300 to $400 for a wig for 2 weeks. You pay $200 for lashes. You pay all this money for things that are so temporary. Like, my nails, my clients come back sometimes in 5 weeks, 6 weeks, full set intact. Why are you complaining about the price? It's just another beauty service. And also, it's not necessary. It's not a necessary service. So it's a thing that you enjoy, you should be paying for. And I don't think there should be a question about price, especially when there's so many different tiers of nail art. You can go to the chop shop on the corner and get a French for $50.
Right.
Or you can go to someone like me. Sorry, my screen's updating. Or you can go to someone like me and get these full-blown extendos with all this texture, all this bling. Like, it's a choice. But I feel like when you start questioning the price of somebody's work, their artistic ability and what they bring to the table, it's almost disrespectful.
Right.
Because this is not just a job to us nail artists. We really put our foot in this. Like, we really practice techniques. We really invest in products. We really invest in a nice space for you to be in. Like we spend time, like none of these sets I do are less than 3 hours. So I'm 3 hours here creating, doing the best that I can with the best products that money can buy in this industry. And it needs to be respected, you know, like that's not, if everybody could be a nail artist and draw and do these things, they would. Not everybody can. So when you choose to go to somebody that takes it that serious and is doing all those things, you need to pay for it and be happy to do so. That's my little bash.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I definitely want to move forward and talk about the exhibition that you, Telly Talons, Dawn Sterling, and Honey Nails did. You guys were included in the Without Us exhibition that was hosted by Jasmine Salon, who's the creator of Nailcon. So I definitely want to ask, like, how did that opportunity come about, and how did all four of you get together?
So Jasmine came to me maybe a year ago, and she just came in as a regular client. She said she wanted to interview me briefly, and we just had a chit chat over nails. And I really, really loved her. She was very sweet. And she told me like she had just started Nailcon. So this was like over a year ago.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, that's dope. I feel like it's something we need in the industry. Like nobody really celebrates nails collectively. Right. And that was that. So we kept in contact. We'd like each other's posts and stuff like that. And then she said to me, okay, like Melissa, I've got this event coming up. It's based in New York, and I really want you to be a part of it. Now, I initially was like, no, only because, not because I didn't want to do it, but like I said, this whole introvert thing, like on my page, I don't really post selfies. I don't do lives. Nobody really hears me speak. So I was like, I don't really like being like center forward. Do you know what I mean? I'm kind of a behind the scenes, very creative person. I just like to be in my bubble. So I was kind of, I don't think I want to do that. And then she was just like, oh no, I like really, really want to showcase your art and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so I spoke to my partner about it, and it was like, you know, you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And I feel like it's something I've been manifesting for myself since the beginning of the year. Like I feel like sometimes I hold myself back because I don't want to be in situations that are uncomfortable for me. And it annoys me, but it's like baby steps for me. So I was like, I didn't know if that was going to be too big an event for me to be a part of, because I just don't put myself out there like that. So I really thought about it. She asked me a few times, and then I was like, you know what, just do it. Like, what have you got to lose? How bad can it be? So they came here, they filmed me. I did 2 sets of press-ons. I did 1 full set of nails. And me and the production team, Jazz, the models, we all got on so well. It was such a vibe. It was like just hanging out. Like it was like being in college all over again. We were just cracking jokes and really having a good time. And it really put me at ease because I was nervous, especially like when I had to like speak to the camera and do the whole Melissa thing. I've never done that before. It took at least 100 takes for me to say my name's Melissa. Like it's just not my vibe. So, but saying all of that, I'm so happy that I did it, because it really pushed me out of my comfort zone. But in going to the actual event, it was so beautiful. It was so well organized. The photographs were amazing. Shout out Tone Wolf, he did an amazing job. The videographer Mike, he did an amazing job. Producer Nem, like they all did so good collectively in coming together to create. Jazz had a vision and they executed it so well. And I met so many nail enthusiasts, so many people that I would never have met that enjoy my work and didn't even know what I looked like. You know, I've had people think I'm Asian based off my art. Like, because I didn't really post on my page. My name's not even on my Instagram. So it's like, people were like, oh, to see this person, it was like weird. It was weird for me too. But people were like, oh, you're like out of your house. It was really, really funny.
Yeah. That seemed like a cool exhibition that,
it really was amazing. We didn't, so me and the other nail artists, like we didn't do our shoots together. They were done individually in our own spaces. So we really met up when we came to the event, but it was just good vibes. Everyone was so supportive of each other. And it was just nice to meet other nail techs because we all work individually. We all work separately. None of us work in a salon. So we're not used to seeing like other techs. None of us have done that. I mean, I don't know if some of the others have even done that at all, but I know I haven't done that for years. So it was just nice to see other people that do nail art in person.
Yeah, right, exactly. I definitely want to go ahead and ask, like, what are some things that brought you the most joy with being a nail artist, and what are some things that you've learned throughout the journey?
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so in terms of the joy, I think it's just getting to pursue my passion every day. You know, not a lot of people get to just be creative and build a whole career, make money from it. You know,
Right.
sometimes it's just a side hustle, just a passion. You're a broke artist. We all know how it goes. But I feel like the fact that people are like, hey, you can do what you want every day and I'll pay you for it is
Right.
just mind blowing to me. But also, I feel like it's God's gift that it's something I always knew I could do and I was nervous about. I didn't know if I'd be good at it or not. And, you know, people like my friends and my family always like, you need to pursue something creative because it seems to be the only things you really stick at, which is true. Like I walked out of so many jobs, corporate jobs, regular jobs, and it was just nothing was sticking for me until I really pursued nail art. So I think it's just the joy of doing what I love every day and then having such amazing clients and conversations. It's just I love it. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to highlight your nails, like what you got on your nails. I like the gold and
So nails, honestly, it's giving. Oh, hold on. It's giving gold renaissance. I don't know. It's giving like it's like all textured, all stony. Like I don't even know. Like I didn't even have inspo for this. So I was just like, I want something gold. Gold's always my go-to. I love gold. Anything gold.
yeah,
I'm
me
like
too.
a magpie, just gravitate towards it. So I did chrome, and then I was like, I'm not just gonna do chrome because this was just before the event with Nailcon too. And then I just sat here and pulled out every stone I had and just started building. And then it just turned into this, like someone actually in the street said it looks like I'm a mermaid. It looks like a mermaid situation. So I'll take that too. But
Yeah,
it's definitely over the top.
yeah, I like the gold, vibe to your nails. It kind of reminds me of that gold filigree design.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that too.
You know what I mean? And I like the how you place like the gems and stuff like that. So I like how you just like put like a lot of your nail sets together, and it's so cohesive, And I follow you on Instagram and your work is dope. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. I think that's the thing for me. Like when I never set out to have a style. I really didn't. Like people used to say, like, what's your style of nails? Like, what's your favorite thing to do? And I was always like, I don't know. Like, I don't really know. I don't think I have a style. But I feel like now I've been doing it for a few years. I realized that I do like my nails to be cohesive, yet very different. So, like for instance, this set I have on now, obviously it's cohesive in that it's gold and it's textured, but every nail is completely different. The stones aren't the same. Where I place the gold isn't the same. And I feel like that's what I enjoy about my sets is that they're so hard to replicate because no two nails are the same.
Exactly.
So, and I feel like it's not about if people can copy them or not. That's not why I do it.
Right.
But ultimately, I feel like it makes every set unique because not all nails are the same.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to switch gears and talk about education and mentorship. So especially in the nail industry, I do believe that mentorship and education is very, very important in this industry. During your journey with being a nail artist, who did you consider to be, a mentor, but also to how important it is to have a mentor and to continue education?
So this is unfortunate. I did not have a mentor. I did not have a mentor in this situation. And maybe that's because I'm from London and I came to New York on a whim. I didn't know anyone in this industry at all. So I feel like, but then I did work in a few different salons. So there's definitely artists before me that helped me. Like all those artists in the Japanese salon. Then I worked in another salon in Brooklyn. Everybody helped me in some kind of way, whether it was to work on shaping or products to buy or how to place gems so that they stay. Like everybody added a little piece to my story, but I didn't really have a mentor. I think I just have this resilience where when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And I literally would go home like every night and practice. And then I just got better. The more clients I got, I just got better and better. I feel like in general, though, with so many nail artists coming out and the level of art people are producing now, like if you can find someone to work underneath, or even to say, hey, like, what kind of products do you use? Or I mean, it's hard because people don't want to give away their secrets. You know, people spend years finding what works for them, what works for their clients, and people don't want to give away their secrets. But I feel like there's a lot of nail artists now that are actually offering like online courses, tutorials on where they're saying, hey, like this can help you. Or even on Instagram, there's short little reels where they're literally showing you how to do a 3D nail, how to do. So I feel like if you follow enough of those people, you can get an insight, or maybe of how to do something, a better technique of doing it. But you got to practice. We always start at the bottom. You have to practice. Like, you can't just be out here trying to get celebrity client. You got to practice. They want to see what you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. I could totally agree with that. Now, I definitely want to get into fashion and style, because I feel like you have like a fashion aesthetic. You know, not only
I don't think I'm fashionable at all. I feel like I live vicariously through my clients.
I feel like you have some sort of like, you know, fashion style, not only with the nails, but like, you know, how you know, dress and things like that. So I definitely want to go ahead and ask this question. If you had to describe the Melissa Finesse Your Claws aesthetic, how would you describe it?
Oh my God. Okay. So it has to be over the top. You got to have some gold in there somewhere. You got to have maybe the grill. You got to have the earrings. You got to have the chains. You got to have the rings. You got to have long nails. If your nails ain't long, your nails have got to be blinged out to another level. Like, I want to see that shit shining without the sun out.
Right.
And then I feel like clothes wise, I just love unique style. I love very creative people. I can get down with the emos. I can get down with the hip hop girls. I can get down with the Instagram girls. Like, I just like you to have some sense of your own style and be unique. I feel like me personally, like, I go from extremely girly. So I'll wear the maxi dresses, boobs out, whatever. I'll sometimes be like this in the graphic tees. Or then sometimes I'll just have a regular tracksuit on. I'm all over the place. But when it's time, I'm going to be over the top. I'm not coming in low key at all.
Yeah, I'm into like style and fashion. I like wearing like my
denim jacket. I see you. Yeah, you bring a little something there, the jacket.
Yeah. I designed this myself.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah. So it's all like hand painted with 3D fabric paint and 2D fabric paint.
Oh wow! And you shredded it up too. I like the distress that you did there too. That's dope.
Yeah, thank you. This is what I did like during college, like my junior year of college. Yeah, but I love like, you know, denim and, you know, sneakers and things like that. Yeah, like how you said, the gold.
The sneakers have to be on point. The sneakers have to be on point. And that's been a thing from the UK. Like, we don't play about sneakers. We do have slightly different style, I would say, to Americans back home. Like, we don't wear like the basketball sneakers and stuff like that. But we're definitely going to wear the ones. We're going to wear the Yeezys. We're going to throw a few Stan Smiths in there. But yeah, your sneakers are going to be on point.
Yeah. The sneaker game is big here in the US.
Yeah, no, of course. And I love that. I remember coming here as a kid and all we'd buy was sneakers, because you guys always had better sneakers than us, or more exclusive sneakers.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Now, I want to get into nail products. So what has been like some of your favorite nail products to use for nail art?
So nail products, I feel like I'm really loving the 3D gel. You know, the gel where you roll and you can do all the swirls and the squiggles. I love it because you can make it chrome, you can have it matte, you can have it neon. But I love texture. I love building up nails, whether it be with the stones, with the gel. It can sometimes it's just slight texture. I love color and I love texture. So I feel like that's my thing right now. My go-to is definitely the 3D gel or the shape swirls around the nails. But I usually do that on top of art. Like, I'm still down to draw some art. Like, because people are like, sometimes people are scared to come to me because they're like, oh my God, I see all these nails on your page. They're so over the top. I go to work, I'm not that hype or whatever. And I'm thinking, like, obviously, these are the nails I enjoy. These are the nails that people want to see. Nobody wants to see a white French on Instagram.
Right.
But I do love drawing. Like, I have all my little paintbrushes. I still be drawing. But most people like the built up sets now. So I post more of those. But I'll do the 3D. But sometimes I'll draw full blown art underneath.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I love drawing, on nails and
I love
same
it.
with the bling and the gold. I'm
It's
like a
got to
work
have
of art.
gold. It's got to have
Yeah,
gold. I've got a couple of clients and they're like, I want to do silver today. I'm like, where are you at? Like, you're at Finesse Your Claws. Like, I don't like silver. However, I do it. I have a few bits here and there, but when someone says I want to do silver, I'm like almost mind blown. I'm like, what?
yeah. Gold for the win, hands down.
Yeah, I love gold. Love
Yeah,
gold.
yeah, gold for the win. I definitely want to get into this one question. If you had a top 5 list of your favorite nail artists, who would they be and why?
Oh, okay. So I love by one Javar. I think that's his name. He
Yeah,
does, like, honestly, his style to me is exceptional. It goes way beyond, it transcends nail art. It's like sculptures. He does a lot of editorial and even just these regular, he's just got a vibe about him. Like, it's so unique. The technique is crazy. And he does acrylic and all these things. Like, he's just dope. So he's definitely like my number one. Like, I love, love, love his art. Like,
mm-hmm.
I do my own nails, but because I feel like I'm very picky, like most nail artists. However, if I went to him, I'm just like, do what you want. Just do what you want. And that takes a lot for me to say because I'm a control freak. So I love him. Who else do I love? I love Tiny Nail. She doesn't post as much anymore. She's based in New York, but
Yeah, Tiny Luxury.
yeah, I follow her because I love all the nail gems. I always loved how she placed nails. I feel like that's definitely an art form and it's unique. Or it was back then. People are doing it more now, but I feel like she has a way with gems that she places, and I feel like it just looks dope. It's always so clean. The shape's so clean. Who else can I think of that I feel like? Oh, there's a guy called Tommy On
Yeah,
Nails.
the Japanese guy. Yeah.
He honestly mind blown again. Like the thing, I don't even know like how he does those build outs. Like I'm still trying to find textures and stuff to even mimic half of what he does. But that guy is onto something. Okay.
Right.
So he's dope too. And then I love Soji Nails. She made all like the clear crystal sets popular, like looking like ice sculptures. Like she's just dope. So I feel like those are I think that's 4. And I feel like those are the ones, yeah. I feel like because that's, to me, of course, again, texture, but they just do nails that I have never seen. Like I've never seen before. Like their style is so unique and so far out there. I don't think you could replicate it even if you wanted to. That's how bad. And then again, I don't even know if anyone in their regular life could even wear those nails because they're so extravagant. They're so built up. But don't love it.
Yeah. I like the editorial nail.
Yeah, she's really, really good too. She's very, very good too.
Yeah, Nails by May.
Oh yeah, Nails by May. Yeah, she been doing this. She's really good too. She's very unique. I love how I've never met her. I've heard about her. I know people that know her. And she's just so eclectic. Like I just love her vibe on Instagram. So yeah, I love her too. May.
Yeah, there's like so many nail artists that are like so cool and unique. Also Charmed by Sarah. I think she kind of set the tone of how to place the stone.
Oh yeah. She's really, really good with the blinged out sets too. She has a unique thing going on for sure.
Yeah. And like there's like this French nail artist. I don't know if you heard of her. Her name is Eva, and she goes by Nails Up on Instagram.
Oh,
and she does like bling nails too. She's very talented.
Oh, okay. There's another Russian girl that I love too. I can't think of her name now. And she does a lot of like chromey textured sets because I do love chrome because I love metallic. So she has a nice play with texture and metallic, but I can't really remember her name right now. She's popping at the moment too.
I know this. I know this one. I think she's from Russia. Her name is 404 Mast. And
that's the girl. 404 Mast. That's her. She has the texture of the metallic sets. And she does like pointy claws, but she has a vibe. There's something about her nail sets. And I'm like, she does really sexy nails. And I feel like people are like, what do you mean by sexy nails? I'm like, I don't know, the shape, the length. Like, where people are going to look twice. I don't know. especially like when my clients come to me and they're like, my boyfriend like really like this set, or my husband really like this set, or my girlfriend or my partner, that really like lights up my life, because I feel like, you know, you can have a partner that's not even creative and not even into art, but when they notice your nails to say that looks dope and they're not even creative, or they don't even know anything about nails, that's when you know you're onto something good, because they are noticing all the effort that you're putting into yourself, into your self-care. And that makes me feel good that you've gone home and you're like, yeah, my husband really liked this set. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
ask them, I always ask my clients, what did your boyfriend think about this set? What did your girl think? And they're always laughing at me. I'm like, I want to know that they appreciate what you do in your
Right.
life.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
Now, how do you balance being a nail artist with mental health?
Ooh, okay. I feel like how I balance that is working by myself. So I brought up earlier, like I'm Pisces, I'm very spiritual, I'm all about energy,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably why I have a close client list and have done for years. I probably take new clients like once a year. And when I say I take new clients, it's maybe like 3 people. Because for me, like the vibe is so important, especially in a
Right.
one-to-one situation where you're working with someone for hours. You know, these aren't like 30-minute appointments. I'm sitting with you for 4 hours in a one-to-one space. So I want to
Mm-hmm.
know that the vibe is right, because if it's not, I personally don't feel creative. Like it's like a slump. Like I'm like,
Right.
I don't even know what I'm doing. So the energy
Mm-hmm.
always has to be right for me. So I feel like when I used to work in salons, honestly, like my mental health was at an all-time low.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it was just too many people, too many issues, too
Right.
much drama, whether it's drama with the clients, whether it's drama with
Right.
the clerks, whether it's drama with the management. For me, I was like, I always prayed that I could do this job in a situation that I felt light, where I felt creative, where I felt energized, where I felt like the
Mm-hmm.
energy was right. And I didn't foresee having my own studio. I didn't foresee maybe having my own business. It was just so
Right.
difficult to get there at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I say I feel so blessed for the situation I'm in now, because I get
Mm-hmm.
to pick and choose who I align myself with, who I get to work with, who I get to
Yeah.
see. And
Yeah.
everybody I have on my books uplifts me in some way. Like they don't leave that appointment feeling depleted, which I feel
Right.
like used to happen to me a lot when I worked in salons. And yeah, there were some really, really dark days. And I was just like, I don't think I want to do this anymore, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I'm in a situation now where I can enjoy my work and not go home feeling drained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right, exactly. And it's cool, like how you said, to work, on your own terms, because like how you said, you get to have creative freedom. You get to select the clients that have the same interests as you. And I
Yeah.
think it's also too in terms of like the importance of setting boundaries, because that's important too.
Yeah.
Because if people can take advantage of you, they can. And the thing is, it's up to us as nail artists and nail techs to really set boundaries, and that's very important for our mental health.
Well, that's true. Because I mean, in the past, for sure, like I've not been good at setting boundaries.
Hmm.
I'm not a confrontational person. And I know you can be assertive without being confrontational, but sometimes I kind of marry the two, and I don't want to upset people, and I don't. But I feel like, for me, it's so either I'm all in or I'm just all out. So I feel
Right,
like I'm in situations where I feel like maybe I can't express myself, or maybe it could be
right,
confrontational. I just completely remove myself,
right.
like I don't put myself in situations where I know creatively I can't excel. And
Right.
that sometimes means removing people, even if I have had them for a while, because
Right.
that's setting a boundary for me. And it's not to say that this person has, or client or whoever has gone out of their way to make me feel some type of way.
Hmm.
But if I feel like our energy doesn't align, it's I can say no, like I feel like sometimes when you work in a creative industry, it's like people think you almost owe them something, or I don't know,
Hmm.
it's weird. Like, especially when you're doing one-to-ones, you build a rapport
Right.
with people. So they think, well, we're friends, I've been coming for this, but it's still a business. It still has
Exactly.
to align with how I run my business. It still needs to be practical. It still needs to be professional. So I'm getting better now at drawing boundaries between me and people I work with, because I feel
Hmm.
like when you are one-to-one, it's easy to think this isn't my nail tech, this is my friend, or this is, and
Hmm.
it starts getting very wish-washy.
Mhm.
You got to keep the boundaries there. You can
Right.
be fun, you
Mhm.
can have the conversations, but you got to keep the boundaries there for the sake of your business and other clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Last but not least, where can people find you on social media and how can people support you and your business?
Oh, sorry, repeat that for me. I didn't hear you.
I said last last but not least, where can people find you on social media and how can people support you and your business?
Oh, okay. So they can find me mainly on Instagram, Finesse Your Claws. And then my website, www.finesseyourclaws.com. That's where you can go and buy my press-ons and just get a feel if you've never worn press-ons, or you want to wear something that's trendy for a lower price point. And then I've got a lot more things coming. Like now I've done the Nailcon situation. I feel like more confident in like being more active on social media. So maybe I'll start doing like more tutorials, mini tutorials, more lives, and posting a little bit more about myself and my creative process. Because I know a lot of people are interested in, how I do, like what's the process to me getting to the end point with some of my nail sets. So I think I'll be a little bit more active in showing that, not in its full entirety because it takes so long, but even a nail or two, maybe a week, just to show people like that I do actually do these sets just off the cuff. So that will be fun, I think. So I think that's where I'm going. I'm going to be a little bit more active on social media, which is a big step for me.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Thank you so much, Melissa, for jumping onto the show. Your work is absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you for having me.
Your
Thank
work
you.
is absolutely dope. I love your spirit. I love your artistry and what you're about. So thank you so much. It was a very wonderful conversation.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Be sure to check out my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care, stay healthy, and stay beautiful. Bye-bye.